Hello, how are you doing today? I hope you are doing very great and well. And I believe this message really meets you well. Today, I want to talk on a very important topic, and I believe we are at the verge of even losing the meaning of that particular topic, and it is discipleship. Discipleship. Don't forget that what Christ told us while he was living was to go into the world and preach or teach the gospel. And we're being commanded to make disciples. But nowadays, we don't do that any longer. Why? Because we give to people what they want. And I didn't mean that is how Christ also did it then. Definitely, Christianity wouldn't have been where it should be presently. And because the vacuum for discipleship is there and not being filled, that is why we now have Christians that are tossed from left to right, forth and back. And the truth is that discipleship takes a lot of time and it deals more with the foundation. But because there is no time to really teach people through the foundation, which is the basis for Christianity, definitely we are now having a lot of issues at the growth stage of Christians. So we now have Christians where we believe with the number of years that they have been in Christendom, they should be able to put out some behaviors, but we are not seeing them and we are now getting angry. Why should we be angry? We shouldn't. We should actually go back to the basis of the foundation. Now, is this person in question? Has this person be taken through the rigorous foundation trainings to become Christians? No. If such a thing is lacking in such a person's life, it means that the foundation is faulty. We realize that so many people now are being really toast because they don't understand what they have received. In fact, people go to churches as if they patronize the sorcerers. For sorcerers, you go to them and tell them that I am having this problem, and the sorcerers will just open a particular thing for you and say, okay, this is what is happening to you, this is what is happening to you, go and do this, go and do this, and the problem goes. Then they pay them, and that is all. And the same thing also happens in Christendom now. People will go to pastors seeing them as sorcerers. Sir, I'm having this issue. I don't have a job. I don't have a child. Please, what is happening? The pastor will say, okay, this is why you are yet to have a child. This is why you are not getting a job. Okay, this is what you do. And after the pastor does that, then the person pays the pastors and the contract is finished. Unknown to them, the gift that God has given to all is to profit. The profit is to win more souls to Christ. Means that it should be an avenue for them to know that something exists in you that you must share with them. Means that when somebody comes to you by the gift that God has given to you, fine, that problem is solved. But yes, still, you tell them that they can also have that same ability. And in telling them that, the grooming of such an individual begins. And that is what is called what? Discipleship. But because the means through which even so many men of God were able to get them was because they got it even through means that are more tedious and stressful, and we so much like in fact, some actually even demonize it. They will tell you that, do you know the number of years I used in getting this? Do you know the number of this I did? Do you know the number of sacrifices I've done? And that actually makes people not to even want to bother about it. But you'll be communicating with God. Now, going back to the former ways through which people do things. And that is why, even to us all, we must go back to the basis. We must all be discipled. Now, we will understand that the moment we are all discipled, majority of these problems that we are facing now will not face them any longer. Because we'll be taken through the rigorous processes that are expected of us to take. And by so doing that, we'll realize that we will grow at the rate that God will always be happy with us. Because people that are not discipled, the moment they are exposed to one thing or the other, you realize that they will be faulty. Why? Because the foundation through which they have built upon is not what is expected of them. So please, and how can you be discipled? you must ensure that you attach yourself to a local church. Means that you must be accountable. Means that you must be known to a particular congregation. You must give in yourself. You must be a worker. It is important. Don't say that we can all be a worker. No, that is not how the garden of the Christendom is. We must all be active. You must be under submission, and only to a Bible-believing church. Those that really elevate what the Word of God is, because that is where the principle is. That is the manuscript. That is our own textbook that we follow through. So it means that even every other thing anybody is bringing is subjected to what the Word of God says. And that is how you and I can be discipled. I hope these few words will really actually have a heart in you and lead you aright to really get what God is telling you at this time. Please do have a wonderful day.